I'm actually pretty damn excited about this. As we're all very aware, before the end of the year, there was a very significant change in the driver market. By the way, it took him fucking long enough. It took a fucking $20 million bill for Christian, and the Mexican flew out the window before he could sign any of his Christmas cards. Feliz Navidad.
All right, thanks, Liam. Really appreciate that.
It's a really thoughtful gift, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Esteban. Well played.
Leo will absolutely love it.
Merci, mon pote. That's disrespect. As long as he doesn't think he's better than me, because I'm not really sure about anything. Not even driving.
What is ever more important is the sudden appointment of a feisty, fresh rookie to the team. So this will mark the first time in the past 3 years that we'll have actual 2 Red Bull drivers to contend for the championship this year. Actually, if I'm completely honest, the first time since 2018 to have a chance of some sort of rivalry in the Red Bull garage. Rivalry. Fucking words. Not my strong suit. Because let's be honest, as much as I like Alex and Gasly, they were just 2 reserve drivers when racing alongside Max. Whether it was bad support from the team, nerves from their side, or they were just dog shit back then, they were the definition of a second driver in F1. Oh god, not again. Now, credit where it's due. Compared to 2024, they were the best fucking pair of second drivers in all of F1 history. But I think that says more about this chimichanga than it does about them. And, of course, a lot of uncertainty now. We really don't know much about this Lawson fella. The Aussies are an uncertain bunch, let me tell you. It's really hit or miss with them. And this kid's from a rural island off the coast of the continent, right? So, fuck knows if they even have cars out there. But with that uncertainty comes a lot of excitement. And I think this sudden post-season move is one of the most exciting ones of the past few years. Certainly up there with the Bottas Aspect calendar release and the Horner debacle. Them were gems, let me tell you. So let's just find out what this kid's really made of and what this move means for the sport. Okay? Let's do it. Do it. Where the fuck was this kid from again? New Zealand. Where the fuck is that again? Oh, is that where they filmed the Hobbit series? Oh, I get it now. I knew he reminded me of someone. Alright, so a bit about the fella that is now in the absolute hot seat of F1. He was born in... I didn't write this part down. If you really want to know. Liam Lawson. Hastings. That should be enough. And he was mentored by some 83-year-old grandpa named Ken. Ken Smith. It sounds like the most fake name you could think of. But he was born literally in the middle of World War II, so I'll cut him some slack there. His fam was going through some shit, you know? Didn't have much time to name their son something stupid like Stormy or North or Dream. I think as long as they didn't name their kid Adolf, they would have been fine. But the guy grew up to apparently be an absolute fucking legend in those parts. Still in 2021, taking part in the 50th New Zealand Grand Prix as his 63rd consecutive season of racing. What the fuck am I reading? What the fuck? Yeah. Okay, yeah, this guy raced every fucking season for 63 years until he turned 80 fucking years old. Yeah, no wonder Lawson's a tough nut if his mentor was racing around for half a fucking century. Makes Kimi look like a fucking pussy for quitting at 43. But back to Lawson, in part thanks to Kenny the G, he quickly rose through the karting ranks and entered big boy racing in 2019. That's what I call the leagues managed by the FIA. Well, depending on my mood. Sometimes I call it by its real name. The in the ass racing league. But either way, he made his step from F3 to F2 in 21 and managed to finish 3rd in the following season already. So, good performance overall. Nothing too stellar like our golden boy Piastri. Then again, there are no kangaroos in New Zealand, so that must have been it. Piastri's a spoiled brat for that. But in all honesty, the kid does not come from a lot, with his parents reportedly selling their house to fund his racing career. Not surprising one bit, to be honest. Considering it costs £30 to drive a go-kart around for 15 minutes these days, you need to own Tommy Hilfiger to finance a racing career. Exactly. But onwards and upwards for Liam as 2024 became a stellar year for the kid, beginning his journey as a full-time driver in the RB and now onto the works Red Bull team. So, in short, is he a good F1 candidate? I fucking hope so. Kid replaced 2 Red Bull drivers in one season. He better be fucking good. So, what happened? In short, this was a wake-up call of a year for Red Bull, and they had to fucking clean house. So first they started with the lesser of the 2 evils, in my opinion, and got their mitts on the RB team, deciding that Ricciardo is just not cutting it anymore. Yeah, we got him in for nostalgia's sake. We're never going to promote his old ass into the works team, not after him leaving us for a fucking French team. And so essentially, he was taking up the seat in the daughter company. Certainly carrying it in the marketing front, but performance-wise, it was, well, let's just be frank here, not good. So bada bing bada boom, Lawson came in full time. He had proven himself alright when Ricky was out with a boo-boo, and he's pretty much Australian himself, so no one's going to tell the difference, right? But then on to bigger matters. Christian finally decided enough's enough, and he cut his losses and decided to rid the team of some dead weight. That would be the case if he did it last year, but in 2024, he was a $30+ million net negative for the team. So at this point, he was getting rid of one of the biggest loss makers in the team. It's almost like he got rid of the whole R&D department salaries for the entire unit in one swoop. It's a heck of a deal, if I'm honest. And this will probably make them money in the end, if they end up getting higher than 3rd place next year in the Constructors. Which is a more likely scenario than the sun not exploding in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Red Bull will be higher than 3rd next year. I was kind of hoping it would. As mentioned, this is the first time with an actually competent driver in the seat of the 2nd Red Bull ever since Perez came in, to be honest. And what is important is the fact that this is not Ricciardo, and this is not Bottas. This is essentially a young, daft cunt that can very well put Verstappen under pressure. I do feel bad for Yuki, though, but there must have been a clear reason why he wasn't selected. I mean, his performance wasn't stellar the past few years, but Lawson's not certain to beat Verstappen in his first few quali either, so I don't know why they picked him instead, to be honest. Maybe it's more about the potential performance he can bring, since we really don't know how good he can be in an F1 car yet. Of course, I didn't take Christian for the praying type, but then again, time changes people. I guess sexual misconduct allegations do too. I'm just kidding. I think I'm just still pissed at him for not picking Sainz. It was such a clear right move in my opinion. I don't know, man. Come on. Maybe he's been so traumatized by 2024 that if he hears another Spanish word other than the paddock, he'll have a fucking stroke. Now, ultimately, I think this is one of the best things that could have happened to the sport. And exactly what it needed right now. Why? Well, because this is what we all want, innit? Every single one of us, mate. If you ask me what F1 needs most of in the new 2025 season, it's, well, a cheaper way to watch the fucking sport would be one, but more competition at the front is pretty top of mind as well, not gonna lie. And what better place to start improving this than at Red Bull, the team that has been the dominating outfit until recently. The way the sport works is that there are a lot of moving parts, and a lot of conditions have to be met in order for the driver to become champion. Now, of course, a lot of it is the car and how it's performing, and how talented the chap is, and how experienced he is, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, gosh. But also, you're so much more likely to become an F1 champion if you got a mongrel for a teammate. It's not even funny. Like, honestly, your number one rival is your teammate. And if your teammate cannot for the life of him get on the fucking podium, he will not be able to take any points away from you, hence helping you in the championship. Simple as that. Now, of course, this only works to a certain extent. You do want him in the mix, utilizing him to pressure the other team and including him in your race strategy and all of that. This is where Perez went wrong. Dude couldn't get on the podium since April. But now that you've got the feisty lad partnering the Verstappen, you've got a fucking fight on your hands, mate. Now, the ball will be in Verstappen's court. Either he improves and proves why he is a world champion, or he will crumble under the sudden pressure from a fresh rookie into the team. That's it. And since we've been missing this fight for so long, really ever since Ricciardo left, that team has not had much head-to-head racing, I have to say. I think this would be the true icing on the cake that will make 2025 a fucking special F1 season. Like the onslaught that a released wilder rural Aussie can do in the creme de la creme F1 car could be astonishing, you know? Now, that is if Lawson delivers. Simple task, really. Just beat the reigning 4-time world champion on your debut year in a car he's been driving for the past 10 years. This is going to go great, isn't it?